Hello and happy Friday to all of you out there, wherever you are and whenever you may be listening. Tonight's WKMC TV broadcast features the Jersey Shore Bulldogs and the visiting Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. My name is Jim Lesko. Alongside me is my partner Dan, and we are coming to you live from the Thompson Street Stadium in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, where the Red Tornadoes are on high alert tonight, as this matchup has the potential to be dark and full of terrors, Dan, both physically and mentally. From a mental standpoint, the Red Tornadoes haven't, while they would never complain about it, they haven't had the easiest slate to start the season. They had two very taxing games in weeks 1 and 2 against Central Columbia and Southern Columbia, and their reward for battling tough through those two games were back-to-back road trips last week at Lewisburg and now this week at Jersey Shore. And while it doesn't get any easier for the Red Tornadoes going forward, we're going to pause for some stadium announcements. And we are back here at Thompson Street Stadium where the Red Tornadoes are visiting the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. And again, as we were saying before, the Red Tornadoes are certainly facing some challenges tonight in terms of the scheduling, being on the road for the second week in a row. and absolutely on the field with the Bulldogs, where we have a team that can beat you both offensively, through the air, and on the ground, and they employ a couple of menaces up the middle, Dan, in terms of David Toom and Hunter O'Connor. So what can the Red Tornadoes do to kind of counteract some of those challenges they're going to face tonight?
Well, Jim, what Mount Carmel is going to have to do offensively is basically continue to do what they do well. The best way to neutralize an aggressive and physical defense is to run counters, play actions, and screens, which is basically what the Red Tornadoes offense is all about. Toom and O'Connor are very tough up the middle, but Mount Carmel's offense is predicated on running off tackle, counter plays, which, if they're run properly, should neutralize those two and give Mount Carmel's running backs one-on-one matchups once they get into the secondary. And these guys are very tough to tackle in the open field, Jim. On the defensive side of the ball, the Red Tornadoes are going to put faith in their corners, as they always do, to shut down the passing game. And the Tornadoes' front seven are going to pressure Lawson's and try to stop up that rushing attack, which they've done a good job of so far this year. They do need to remain under control while pressuring Lawson, though, as he is dangerous when he gets outside the pocket.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot to talk about with the Red Tornadoes on the defensive side of the ball, but I want to jump back to the offensive side of the ball for a second. Last week, we really saw this offense humming for seemingly the first time this season. Both Ayers and Widener went over 100 yards. So what can Mount Carmel do tonight to replicate that success?
Well, they made a lot of adjustments between the Southern Columbia game and the Lewisburg game. Those adjustments included some personnel changes on the offensive line and some assignment changes in their blocking schemes as well. Making those changes led to, as you said, the success Widener and Ayers had, both rushing for over 100 yards. And all that success in the rushing game opened up the passing game for Reisinger, who also threw for over 100 yards. So those are some pretty impressive numbers, and it will be difficult to completely replicate that. But if they execute the way they did last week, we'll be looking at another big offensive day for Mount Carmel.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement around this team at this point. You had to see how they're going to respond to the Week 2 loss, but they really came back last week. And as we see, we're going to hit the captains head out for the coin toss. For the Red Tornadoes, it's going to be 27 Ayers, 75 Anderson, 26 Troutman, and 44 Chapman on the other side for Jersey Shore. Take a look at the jerseys here if we can get a pick. I see number 24, that's going to be Kobe Peacock, who we'll absolutely talk about tonight. I see 45 Kyle Toom, 55 Hunter O'Connor, and if I had to guess, I'd say the other guy is 52 David Toom, and that's what it looks like, Dan. So again, we talked about O'Connor and Toom, but there's also Peacock to discuss as well. We'll wait and see how this looks like. The Bulldogs won the toss, and they're going to receive. So Red Tornadoes will start on defense for, I think, the first time this season.
Yeah, it is the first time this season, Jim. And you know, right as we were about to start talking about this defense a little bit, how they're going to neutralize Peacock and Lawson and Toom. They've got so many, Jersey Shore has so many weapons on offense. But Mount Carmel's going to put a lot of faith in their defensive backs, as they do every week, to kind of get those guys into one-on-one matchups. Basically, they're gonna put probably see Avery Demko, number 14, following number 24 Peacock, and they're gonna try and get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. So we're gonna see back deep for the Bulldogs. It looks like it's gonna be number 30. Number 30, that is Josh Malicki back deep, along with 33 Dawson Sechrist. So Sechrist is one of the leading rushers for the Bulldogs this year, Dan. He's got 21 carries for 102 yards. Malicki, again, the second leading rusher as well. For the Red Tornadoes, for the first time this year, we'll see number 44 Jack Chapman handling the kickoff duties. Now we're underway here. Chapman gets a nice end-over-end kick. Going to be fielded at about the 15-yard line. A couple nice moves made. He's going to be out to about the 30-yard line. That was Sechrist, and that's where the Bulldogs will start their first drive of the night. And
I'm interested to see what Jersey Shore, they I wouldn't want to say vanilla, but they run some pretty normal sets, that a lot of teams run. That usually like a pro I backfield, which is what it looks like they got right now. Yeah, interested to see what Mount Carmel's doing.
Yeah, that's what we'll see right now. It'll be Lawson under center. Peacock's going to come across in motion. Larson's going to be handoff to the up back, 33. That's Sechrist, and he's not going to go anywhere. Forward progress looks like they're going to give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And there's Ayers, middle linebacker Ayers. Looks like Hood in there as well on the tackle. Those guys, they do a great job of stopping up that middle. I think it's going to be tough sailing today for Jersey Shore if they want to try and run up the middle.
Yep. The Bulldogs will be out again in the same formation. That is Toom behind Sechrist. Guthrie split out way to the left. Larson's going to go straight back, and he's going to throw a little 50-50 ball, but he's trying to get the Peacock. Great coverage by Demko as that falls incomplete.
And there's that matchup that we talked about. Peacock with the impressive numbers last week. 200 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns last week against Montoursville. You're going to see probably Demko following him around all night, and they're going to go to him, but Demko with great coverage on that play.
Yep, we'll see. Larson takes the call. They're going to go twins left and 2 to the right as well. So it'll be 4 wide, 2 to his right, 2 to Larson's right, 2 to his left. He's going to have a defender in the backfield as well. It'll be a snap, and he's going to roll, and he's under a lot of pressure. And he's throwing it in the direction of Peacock, but that pass is going to fall incomplete. And it's going to bring up 4th down for the Bulldogs from their 32-yard line.
And, luckily for Mount Carmel, it looked like Peacock did get away, get some separation there, but John Ayers applying a ton of pressure on Larson, kind of made him alter his throw a little bit and made that incomplete.
Yep, Peacock's going to do a little bit of everything for the Bulldogs, including punting, while we've got Widener and Burkowski back deep for the Red Tornadoes. And a little bit of confusion on the sideline there. The Bulldogs are going to take their first timeout with 11:14 left here in the first quarter of a 0-0 game. Yeah, and that was, I think Peacock looked a little frustrated there. Possibly a personnel thing, bringing the punt team out there. And we talk about it a lot. Special teams are kind of when people get lost on the sidelines and stuff like that. We'll see if they get everything straightened away here. Yeah, and I think a lot of times, Dan, you can kind of determine just the nature of the timeout by how quickly the team gets in and out of it. And the Bulldogs are already out of it and over the ball again. The Red Tornadoes will break their huddle. And we'll see this first punt from Peacock. 11:14 left here again. It's a good snap. And a nice punt. It's going to be high. It's going to be Burkowski. He's going to field it at the 39, and he's going to go down right away. That's going to be number 43, Carter Peacock. That makes a great play. And the Red Tornadoes will start their first drive at their own 39-yard line. Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be we're going to have to kind of be deciphering names here. Make sure we get the first names in. We got 2 Peacocks. We have 2 Tooms. There's a lot of looks like it's like a family gathering out here on the field. Well, we talked about the Bulldog defense being a little bit vanilla. The Red Tornadoes are going to do a couple things, but they're going to do one thing really well, and that's this shotgun double wing. So it'll be Reisinger in the shotgun. It'll have John Ayers to his left, and Daukus and Widener will be split off to the wing on the right side with double tights in Chapman and Mike Hood. Reisinger's going to set himself. Widener's in motion, and he's going to take a sweep behind. There's a little bit of room. He's going to get through the wash across the 45-yard line. A couple nice blocks there, and it'll wind up being a 2nd and 6 for the Red Tornadoes. And, Jim, I don't know if you remember last week against Lewisburg. We saw Widener break 2 of these for long touchdowns, all because of the, obviously the line pulling around, giving him some room, but John Ayers with that nice kick out. Absolutely. So here we go, have the Red Tornadoes coming out again. Same formation. Reisinger with Ayers, Daukus, and Widener. Reisinger making some adjustments at the line. And he sets himself. It's Ayers in motion this time. Now it's the same play. It's a sweep to Ayers to the right, though. And Ayers has some room. And Ayers is in the open field. He's across the 30, the 20, and Ayers is going to take that in from 44 yards out for the Red Tornadoes' first touchdown of the night. Yeah, that was the same play to the opposite side of the field. The same play to the opposite side of the field there, but this time to Ayers and Widener, paying him back for those 2 long runs last week, getting that big kick-out block that gave Ayers the cutback lane to eventually get him up the seam and into the end zone. Absolutely, Dan, and that's going to be a huge play for Ayers for a lot of reasons. We'll get to that in just a second. It's going to be Stellar on for the extra point attempt. Tyler Owens, the holder. Looks like Daukus is your snapper there. Got a good snap and a good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is right down the middle. And with 10:14 left, the Red Tornadoes are on top 7-0. And as you said, we're going to touch on that run for Mr. Ayers there. That puts him at 44 yards on the game.
came into the game needing 47 to become 4th all-time in rushing yards for Mount Carmel, and will put him only behind Veach, and Diminick. So if we can get him 3 more yards this game, we may have a chance to see some history made.
Yeah, it's an exciting day. He's a great kid. Went about it a way that not a lot of people are able to go about a thing like that. Grinding it out. I mean, you see the talent there and the skill there and the speed to make big plays, but Ayers picked up a lot of those yards, 6, 7, 8 yards at a time.
Absolutely, yes, he did, and he has, as you said, he has the breakaway speed, but he's got that Mount Carmel toughness, that grit. He runs tough, and as you said, 6, 7, 8 yards at a time can get you a long way.
So it'll be Chapman on to kick for the Red Tornadoes again, and again back deep for the Bulldogs is Sechrist and Malicki, sorry. Nice kick from Chapman. It's going to bounce at about the 17, and it's going to be Sechrist again. And he's got some room on the sideline. He makes a couple nice moves. He'll be out near the 35. We'll see where they mark him. It's on the far sideline away from us at this point. And they're going to call it the 33-yard line.
And it looked like Burkowski in there on the tackle did a good job getting downfield, keeping that contained, not letting the guy get to the sideline, made the tackle there.
Bulldogs come out, similar formation. Guthrie split out to the left. It's Peacock to the right. Lorson under center. He takes a snap, and this time he's going to hand it to 45, Kyle Toom. And Toom's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to stop him for a loss of a yard.
One thing we see this Mount Carmel defense do well is they gang tackle. They have got 3, 4, 5 guys on the ball carrier within an instant every time the ball carrier touches the ball.
And the Bulldogs back up on the ball quickly, a little up-tempo pace here. And this time it's going to be Larson straight back, and he's going to pitch it over the middle, and it's intercepted by Avery Demko. Demko making a couple really nice moves. He's still up across the 30. He's going to be tackled down at the Bulldog 27-yard line. The Red Tornadoes are right back on the attack, Dan.
And as we talk about Demko there, covering number 24, Peacock. Peacock was in the vicinity of the throw there. Looked like Lorson kind of threw that off his back foot, felt a little bit of pressure, and kind of floated it a little bit. Avery Demko able to kind of take it away from Peacock there, and a nice little return, too.
Yeah, I don't think Lorson got as much on that as he would have liked. The Red Tornadoes are going to come out in the same exact formation. So 3 plays from the Tornadoes. Shotgun double wing. Ayers to the left. Daukus and Widener to the right. Double tight with Chapman and Hood. It's Widener in motion this time, and it's going to be the same play. It's going to be pitched to Widener, and Widener's got some room in the alley. Takes a couple big hits. He's going to be across the 25. They're going to mark him down at the 24. It'll be a 2nd and 6.
And again, we talk about this sweep play, and we talked about, John Ayers about to pass a big milestone, but still out there grinding it out, throwing blocks for his counterpart Widener there. Great team effort by both of these guys out here.
Red Tornadoes are back up on the ball. Same look. There's a lot of guys in the box. Everybody's within about 8 yards of the ball for the Bulldogs. And this time it's going to be handoff to Ayers in the middle. He's going to make a couple guys miss. He's going to be down to the 20-yard line, where we'll set up a 3rd and 2 with 8:40 here remaining in the first quarter. And the Red Tornadoes on top 7-0.
We'll see what Mount Carmel decides to do. We talk about it a lot, staying on schedule. This is the short yardage that they want to be in if they do ever get to a 3rd down. So we'll see what they do here.
Well, they're going to do what they've done all game so far, Dan. Same look. The Bulldogs have everybody now within 5 yards of the ball this time. And it's going to be a play action. And Reisinger's got some time, and he lofts it over to Widener. And that's going to be another Red Tornado touchdown. A 21-yard completion from Tom Reisinger to Shane Widener.
And this, Jim, is exactly what we talked about pregame. Mount Carmel to stop the aggressiveness of this defense. Play action, counter, pulling guards, all that stuff, staying outside the tackles. That's how you neutralize those guys up the middle. And a great example right there. Play action, Reisinger under pressure, delivering a perfect ball to Widener on a nice route for a quick score.
Stellar on to attempt the PAT. Owens to hold. It's a good snap, a good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 8:11 remaining in the opening quarter, the Red Tornadoes are on top, 14-0, on the heels of a 44-yard John Ayers touchdown run and a 21-yard hookup between Tom Reisinger and Shane Widener.
And Jim, this is what we've seen a lot from Mount Carmel in the last 2 weeks. Kind of the running game, setting up the passing game. And this is the dimension that we did not see a whole lot in weeks 1 and 2 against Central and Southern Columbia. But Mount Carmel is doing a very good job with this run-pass, kind of balancing the game out a little bit for themselves.
Yeah, when we watched that play, Dan, there were, 20 guys within about 7 yards of the ball, and then Widener and the defender were 15 yards downfield, and that was it. It was just the two of them. Widener ran a great route to get behind his guy, and Reisinger put the ball on the money. Yeah,
it was a beautiful throw and catch from Reisinger to Widener. I think we might see that one again tonight.
Yeah, I think it won't be too long before Coach Dara starts itching to dial that one up again.
Mm-hmm.
So Chapman on to kick off. It's going to be another booming punt. Seacrest is going to take this down at the 9. So great kick. He's going to make a couple guys. No, he's not going to make anybody miss. And the Red Tornadoes do a great job of covering that. The Bulldogs will start their third drive in the night on their own 23-yard line.
And it looked like the kicker, Chapman, running down there and getting in there to kind of slow him down, and then a few other white jerseys in there to clean that hit up.
Yeah, well,
good job of covering the kick there.
Chapman's no ordinary kicker, Dan. Chapman's got 23 tackles this year already, but he did have 100 tackles last season. So
yeah.
He's out there looking for somebody to hit. It'll be the same formation from the Bulldogs with Lorson under center, and he's going to hand it to number 30, Seacrest, and Seacrest is fighting. Check that, Malicki. That was Malicki. Malicki works really hard, picks up 15.
Yeah, Malicki grinded that one out. He did work for those 15 yards, but that's a very good run. Looked like there was a decent-sized hole there opened up. See if I have a feeling that was something Mount Carmel did, blitz the wrong gap or something like that, and ended up opening up a wide hole because, as we talked about, you don't see that often.
1st and 10 on the 36. Now there will be an offset eye out of the Bulldogs. Orson's going to drop straight back this time, and it's a quick out route to 33. That's Dawson Seacrest. It's a nice catch. He's going to be run out of bounds by Burkowski and Troutman at the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 4.
And that's a tough route to cover. We saw Southern Columbia do this route a few times. The quick little flood play, the linebacker or the corner has to get out there and get the back, and it's tough to get there in time.
Straight eye out of the Bulldogs. Orson, he's going to fake the up handoff, and he's going to pitch it. He's going to have number 30, Malicki, on the end, and he's going to be dragged down hard by number 10, Noah Burkowski, for a loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 5.
That was actually number 28, Widener, on the tackle there, but there was a flag on the play.
Officials are going to confer on this one. It did look like Widener grabbed Malicki a little high, so I think they're just discussing whether or not this fits the bill of what you might have a face mask or another. I don't think what they are going to call a face mask against the Red Tornadoes.
We'll have to see how they walk it off here, if it's going to be a 5 or a 15.
Yep, they're going to call it 5 yards. So it'll still be 2nd down. The penalty won't be enough to pick up the first. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs from their own 44-yard line.
And that's tough. It looked like Widener got in the backfield, made a nice tackle for a loss. Unfortunately, got a piece of the face mask.
Same look for the Bulldogs. Lorson. It's going to be 45. Toom up the middle, and he breaks a couple tackles, gets off center a little bit. Picks up a first down for sure. They're going to mark him down at the 48.
Yeah, and it looked like Toom, was stopped up there at the line of scrimmage, kind of ran into a couple of his blockers, was able to sneak out, kind of find a hole there and pick up a first down.
Not a whole lot going on the Bulldog sideline in terms of variety. Same look. Orson, this time he's going to drop straight back, and he's looking. He wants to throw a hard comeback to Peacock, and it's going to sail over his head incomplete.
Yeah, that was a well-ran route by Peacock there. Demko did a very good job of staying on his hip, staying close with him, kind of forced Lorson to try and force that ball in there, and it sailed a little high on him.
Yeah, I'd be curious if that was by design or if that was just a good read, but Chapman was out there in coverage a little bit as well if he just picked up Peacock heading in that direction. Same look from the Bulldogs. Lorson, he's going to hand it this time. It's going to be, we'll have to wait and see. He's up and down quick, gets to him again. Goes across midfield, just barely. So it'll be 3rd down and 7.
And, you know, we continue to talk about the toughness in the middle here of this Mount Carmel defense. You got the defensive line blocking up holes, allowing these linebackers to run free.
Yep. Lorson's going to come out now. He's got 4 wide, 2 to his right, 2 to his left. He's got a running back beside him, a personal protector. He's going to go straight back. He's under pressure. He's going to roll. He's going to throw it across the middle. A dangerous pass through the hands of Troutman before it falls incomplete.
And that was a very nice play there by Troutman. That was a really nice play by Troutman. He kind of, you know, got to his hook curl zone, you know, dropping as a linebacker, and was able to get his hand on that ball because I think if it would have gotten over his head, it might have been complete.
Yeah, it was a great stand there by the defense, making a play when they really needed to, absorbing the 5-yard face mask penalty as well. So Peacock will be on to punt. It'll be 4th and 8 for the Bulldogs here from right around midfield. Widener and Burkowski back deep for the Red Tornadoes. It's a good snap. It's going to bounce. Widener's going to let it bounce, and it's going to be picked up by the Bulldogs. It's going to be number 32, Brett Guthriel, down it at right around the 14-yard line.
Yeah, so Mount Carmel starting with a little bit of a longer field here. I think both of their drives started right around the 50 or inside Jersey Bulldog territory. So starting deep into our own territory here. Let's see if they can continue to have success as they did on the first 2 drives.
We'll see if Coach Dara sticks with what they've been doing thus far or if he spreads it out a little bit. It's not on this play at least. We're going to have an official's timeout, it looks like. They're going to be providing water to both teams, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we haven't seen so far this year. We've played in a few warm, humid games, but, you know, it could be the referees being extra cautious, making sure everyone stays hydrated. I'm not really sure what other reason it could be right now. Yeah,
it's an interesting setup, but it gives us a good time to talk about some of the great people, great organizations that have been out there that help support WKMC TV. Again, we're in our 50th year of broadcasting here. So certainly a big thank you to Service Electric Cablevision, who provide us the means to provide this programming to you. Archie Shoe Store at 828 Chestnut Street in Coltmont, where you can get shoes for the entire family. And we are back here at the Thompson Street Stadium in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, where the Red Tornadoes are on top 14-0 with 5:46 to go. They're going to start their drive with 87 yards to go to pay dirt here. 1st and 10 from the 13. It'll be Reisinger in the gun. He's got Ayers to his left, Daukus and Widener to the right, double tight. Widener's in motion. They're going to pitch it to Widener. He makes a nice move to get upfield, but he is ultimately going to be held up and dragged down, and that play was started by, it looks like, 61, Gage Wilson.
Yeah, there was a host of Bulldogs there making on the play. Looked like Widener took a big shot, but we continue to talk about it. These Mount Carmel running backs are tough, gritty running backs. They can take the hits, and they're going to keep going.
Yep, as you said, no gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Red Tornadoes from the 13. Widener's going to come to the sideline, get a well-deserved breather here. That's going to be Burkowski spelling him at the moment. But otherwise, it's the same look from the Tornadoes. It's Burkowski in motion this time. Reisinger's going to fake the sweep, and he's going to get upfield. He puts his head down. He's going to be very close to the 20-yard line before he runs into a pack of Bulldogs. Call it the ninth. They're going to give him the 19-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 4.
And that play is one that we continue to see it week after week. They sweep, 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 and that sets up the fake sweep, keep up the middle, and it usually spells success for Reisinger.
Red Tornadoes are going to have Tanner Karicki in there as well, in for Ayers. So it'll be Cricky in motion now, and he's going to take the sweep from Reisinger, and he's got a lot of blockers in front of him. He makes a decision to cut up field. It's a good one. Puts his head down and picks up an extra 3 yards on the end of that one. So it'll be 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes. He was across the 30 to the 32.
Yeah, and that was a very, very well-designed play by Mount Carmel there. It looked like when Tanner caught the pitch in open field, there were probably 6, 7 white jerseys in front of them, which allowed them to pick up that first down with, with pretty much some ease there.
Yep, and they'll leave Kuricky out there. Widener will be back in. And so in this case, I think for the first time tonight, we'll see Reisinger with his running back. It'll be Kuricky to the right, Daukus and Widener to the left, and it's a rollout. And Reisinger tries to get Chapman, but he's gonna miss him over the top.
And I think that was a good decision there by Reisinger. Looked like everyone was covered pretty well for Mount Carmel that was out in the pass pattern. Didn't have anything. Kind of threw the ball in the area of Chapman to keep him away from getting any sort of intentional grounding, but it was a good ball where nobody was going to catch it.
2nd and 10 for the Red Tornadoes from the 32. Currently they're on top 14-0 here against the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. Kuricky's still out there. Chapman's going to be in a slot position at this point. They're going to pitch it to Kuricky, and Kuricky tries to get upfield, but there's a lot of Bulldogs over there doing a really nice job of stopping that play. See number 52, David Toom. I believe he's first on the scene. And
that might be a short loss for Mount Carmel there, so we're going to see them in sort of an unfamiliar position from so far this week and last week. We're going to see them in a 3rd and long, which they didn't have too many of those in the last 2 weeks here.
Yeah, and you see number 14, Avery Demko, on the way in there for the Red Tornadoes, so you wonder if they're going to spread it out a little bit, and they do.
Yep.
It'll be Chapman split out by himself to the right. Demko will be split out to the left. Otherwise, the Red Tornadoes are in the shotgun wing. Reisinger's going to take the snap and go straight back. He's under pressure. It's a quick pass to Widener, and it's a good one. It's caught, but a better play is made by number 30, Josh Malicki, before Widener can even get past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, very, very short gain there, if any, and it is going to set up a 4th and long here for Mount Carmel, so we may be seeing the punt team for the first time tonight.
And that's exactly what's going to happen, Dan. It'll be Ayers punting for the Red Tornadoes. Back deep for the Bulldogs is going to be number 24, Kobe Peacock, and it looks like 15, Owen Anderson. It's a good snap for Ayers. It's a nice end-over-end punt. That's going to be Anderson at the 40. He's going to go right up the sideline. First guy who runs into is going to be Demko. Demko makes a nice tackle. But the Bulldogs are going to start this drive with 2:22 left in the first quarter at midfield. Yeah, and
midfield is the best field position they've had all game. Last drive they got to midfield, but they didn't get any further. Let's see if Mount Carmel's defense can toughen up and not let them get into their territory again here.
We'll see. Lorson is a do-all quarterback, as we've seen through the first couple weeks. So we'll see if the Bulldog sideline starts to unleash him. And again, same formation. It's an I formation with a receiver split out left. It's Guthrie. To the right, it's Peacock. And Lorson's going to go straight back, and he's under pressure. And Hood is going to stand him up. And there will be some other Red Tornadoes that come and finish it off, but that was all.
Knocked away from them by number 1, Janice Ricky. Bring up a 4th down for the Bulldogs.
the way down to about the 10-yard line. And that's where the Red Tornadoes will start the next drive. 1st and 10 from their own 10 after a great punt by Kobe Peacock. Again, the Red Tornadoes currently on top 14-0 with 1:01 left here in the first quarter.
And it looked like Widener, you know, kind of a little upset with himself there that he didn't pick that ball up. I saw he kind of was kicking some dirt a little bit there, but Mount Carmel definitely has the capability to drive the length of the field. We've seen it before.
Yeah, and it looks like actually it's going to be 2 yards deeper than it looked originally. Going to give him another 2 yards, so it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 8. Reisinger's in the gun by himself. Red Tornadoes are super tight otherwise. Reisinger's going to take the snap. He's going to pitch it to Widener in motion. Widener's got a little bit of room, but there's a lot of orange jerseys around. It's going to be a nice tackle made by number 30 again. That's Josh Malicki, but not before Widener gets across the 10, very close to the 15, where it'll be 2nd and 4.
And, you know, it looked like Widener running kind of like a man on a mission there. You know, kind of like, as I said last play, kind of let that punt go by him. Wants to get those yards back real quick here.
And Red Tornadoes come out of formation that looks a little bit more like what they've done previously. Reisinger in the gun, Ayers to his left with Daukus and Widener in the wing to the right. And it's going to be a tough snap. Reisinger does a nice job of handling it, and he gives it to Ayers, and Ayers is in open space. Ayers is across the 40. He's in a foot race. It's the 50. He's at the opposing 40. He's eyeing up a blocker. He makes a great move, and he's all the way down to the 30-yard line. A huge gain. That's going to be 56 yards.
And as we said, you know, Mount Carmel very capable of getting out of that short field that they were in there. And Ayers proved that right there with a great run.
And there's 7.2 left on the clock here in the first quarter. The clock does stop on the 1st down, and the Red Tornadoes are acting as if they're going to try to get another play in here. We'll see what Coach Dara wants to do. He's going to bring it up to the line. Reisinger looking around. He doesn't seem to have any intention to snap it. And that's going to do it. That'll be the end of the first quarter here with the Red Tornadoes up 14-0. It'll be a 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line when we start the second half. We'll be right back.
And, you know, Mount Carmel, as we talked about it on running back John Ayers' first long carry of the day, with that long run, he did surpass Joe Sinkovich to take sole possession of the number 4 rushing leader for Mount Carmel area. So big night for John Ayers. Little upset with himself. He didn't get into the end zone there. It kind of looked like he might have ran out of gas. I mean, this kid's playing both ways. He's playing very tough, but he should be very, very proud of himself, very happy with himself, because that's a pretty good company that he's with there now.
Yeah, it's interesting, Dan, because it's been a little cooler the last few days, but it's really humid tonight up here in Jersey Shore, and you can kind of see that again. The officials called that impromptu water break in the first quarter, and you see a lot of the players are doing their best to stay hydrated on the sideline.
Yeah, and you see a little bit more in and out with the running backs there. They do a lot, and seeing them come in and out, it's tough.
And speaking of, as the Red Tornadoes come back across on the ball here, it'll be Reisinger in the gun, but he's going to have Cricky to his left. Again, giving Ayers a little bit of a respite here. It's Cricky in motion. Reisinger's going to roll out to his right, and he gives it to Widener and puts his head down. That's not, check that, not Widener. That's going to be Daukus. Apologies. Nice catch and run. Nice run after the catch, I should say. It's going to be very close to a 1st down.
Yeah, Daukus with a really, really tough run after catch there. He kind of got out in open space, and that's, you know, he's the fullback. He's the blocking guy. He's doing a lot of pulling, so making it worth his while when he gets the ball in his hands, putting his shoulder down and delivering a blow as a fullback should.
Yeah, it'll be a pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1 from the 12 here. Same formation out of the Red Tornadoes. Reisinger's going to hand it to Cricky, and Cricky's got some guys in front of him. He puts his head down, and he's trying to muscle his way into the end zone. He's not going to get there. He's going to get close inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal for the Red Tornadoes from the 4.
Yeah, another tough run there by Cricky. We continue to talk about it. These backs, these Mount Carmel backs, all of them run hard and tough. They don't shy away from contact, and they actually sometimes, we saw in the opening scrimmage actually this year, John Ayers stay inbounds to deliver a hit.
And Ayers will be back in there, give Cricky a break. So it'll be Ayers to Reisinger's left, Daukus and Widener in the wing to the right. It'll be a handoff to Ayers. Ayers makes a nice move to get past the initial defender. He's not going to get in yet. That initial defender that kind of caused the havoc was David Toom, who we talked about in the outset.
Yeah, and good run by Ayers there, just doing a good job of getting anything, kind of made one guy miss. And you see him do that little spin move where he, kind of spins off one and keeps his feet pumping and almost runs backwards.
Yeah, the Red Tornadoes, they pull Reisinger out. Cricky goes in, so that means it's going to be Ayers and a Wildcat. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2. Mount Carmel about as tight as you can get. It's a handoff to Ayers. Ayers gets moving. He puts his head down, and they're going to say he didn't get in. He did not yet get into that end zone. It'll be 3rd and goal from, I don't know, Dan, what do you think, the 6-inch line?
Yeah, that was definitely very close. Ayers reached out the ball, trying to get it into the end zone. Looked like his elbow may have hit just shy of the goal line. So this is going to be less than 1 yard they need here.
Oh, you can see Reisinger down just below us. Again, getting a nice drink there and staying hydrated. So that means Ayers is still in the gun in the Wildcat, and he's going to take this one. He puts his foot in the ground to pick his lane, and then he's going to be in. And the guy who did a lot of the heavy lifting on that drive is going to ultimately end up with the reward. Ayers' 2nd touchdown of the night will put the Red Tornadoes on top 20-0 with 9 minutes and 43 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, and that was one of those plays, everybody's on the line of scrimmage. Somehow Ayers was able, as you said, to stick his foot in the ground and find that little seam. Instead of, bullying his way in, he just walked in.
Stellar will be on to attempt his 3rd extra point of the night. It's a good snap and a good hold. The kick is up, and it's going to be no good. That's going to be wide left. And the Red Tornadoes will keep their 20-0 advantage.
So I'm interested to see here, Jim, if Jersey Shore, at the end of the 1st quarter there, if they've made any offensive adjustments, as we talked about in pregame, and you referenced it on I think it was Jersey Shore's last drive. Lorson, very capable with the ball in his hand, running and throwing. He hasn't had success throwing with Mount Carmel's defensive backfield playing very well, and front 7 putting a lot of pressure on him. But I'm interested to see if they continue to drop him back, maybe try and get him outside of the pocket and let him do some stuff with his feet.
Yeah, Lorson did throw for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns last week, all 4 of which to Kobe Peacock. So they can absolutely put some points on the board. It's just a matter of, is this Red Tornado defense going to give them the opportunity?
Yeah, and watching film, there were a lot of those touchdowns to Peacock were long plays. I saw a 75-yarder and a few, around 40, 50 yards. So they can score quick. So Mount Carmel can't take their foot off the pedal here.
Absolutely not. It'll be, as the Red Tornadoes prepare to kick off again, it'll be Chapman, Sechrist, and Malicki back deep for the Bulldogs. Nice kick out of Chapman. It's going to be down to the 10, where Malicki will return. He's up the sideline, but he's upended. Nice tackle by number 9, Tyler Owens. The Blue Dogs, will start 1st and 10 at about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, very good tackle there by Owens. He put his shoulder down, and he did upend Malicki there. It was a very good tackle. As we said, these guys do a great job on special teams. It seems their kick coverage, punt coverage, everything they do a good job with. And we don't talk about it enough, but they deserve to be talked about.
Well, the Bulldogs down 3 scores are going to come out wide open. It'll be 4 wide, 2 to Larson's left, 2 to his right. He's going to bring number 81, Stanton Westland, in motion before they hand it up the middle. And he's not going to get anywhere. It'll be right around the line of scrimmage. It was Larson on the keeper, as we said, trying to get him involved, but he had nowhere to go.
And it looked like Hood, Wills, pretty much the whole defensive line there on the tackle on Larson.
Larson, again, he's got 2 receivers to his left. It's Stanton and Guthrie, 2 to his right. And he's going to go straight back, and he's going to throw a quick hitter to Stanton. There's a lot of Red Tornadoes in the area. It'll be complete for a gain of, we'll call it 4.
Yeah, and Hood with a lot of pressure on Lorson there again. Got in there quick, but Lorson did a good job of getting that ball out for a short gain there.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 here. Ball almost looked like it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, Dan.
Yeah, I thought that Hood might have gotten a finger on it. It looked like it did.
And it's Stanton and Guthrie split out to the left. 48 Schaefer and Peacock to the right. Stanton's going to go in motion. Lorson's going to roll to his right. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to throw back across his body to Peacock, who's open in the middle of the field. Peacock's across midfield, does a nice job stepping through an arm tackle, and it's going to be 1st and 10, Bulldogs at the Mount Carmel 45-yard line.
And Jim, that's exactly what we talked about. Now there is a flag on the play, but that's what Lorson does well. He got out of the pocket. He extended the play, and he was able to find Peacock, who, you know, also extending the play, got away from his defender.
So that flag is going to be a sideline warning against the Bulldogs. So no damage done just yet from that flag. So they'll come up across the ball. Again, with 8:14 left, the Bulldogs trail the visiting Red Tornadoes 20-0. But they do have 1st and 10 from the Mount Carmel 45 with a little bit of momentum for the first time tonight. Lorson's got 2 right, 2 left. He's in the pistol. Got Toom directly behind him. We're going to get a whistle. We'll see exactly what the whistle's going to be.
I don't see a flag.
Nope. I'm going to see, is it a clock-related issue? Or
it looked like the head linesman there was trying to reset the play clock.
Yep, that's what they'll be doing here, Dan. Good catch. It came from one of the back judges, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
where the initial stoppage came from. So again, for the Bulldogs, it's going to be 32 Brett Guthrie and 81 Stanton to the left, Schaefer and Peacock to the right. It's Toom behind Lorson. Lorson's going to take it. He's going to hand it right to Toom. Check that. That's Secret. Malicki, rather. Makes a couple moves, but he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Great play by the Red Tornadoes there.
Yeah, Tanner Karicki came up there and put a stick on Malicki there. That was a very good tackle in open field. As we said, Malicki, very, you know, their second leading rusher. But making that play in open field was tough by Karicki. That's a great tackle.
Yeah, the Bulldogs definitely have some playmakers, and I think Mount Carmel's wary of that, and they're being very sure with their tackles.
Yeah, they as they normally are.
Sure. Same look out of, well, similar look, double twins for the Bulldogs. Stanton's going to go in motion, so it's going to be trips to the right side. Lorson's rolling out. The Red Tornadoes put a lot of pressure on him, and it's going to be just thrown across his body, incomplete. Daukus applying the pressure, ensuring that Lorson can never really get situated. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Daukus did a really good job there of staying outside and not allowing Lorson to get outside of him. He did a good job of not allowing Lorson to break contain. Also, very good pursuit by 75 Billy Anderson and 72 Colin Erb there, getting after Lorson and forcing him to continue moving back and to the sideline.
Clock ticks under 7 minutes here. Again, 3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs from the Red Tornado 45-yard line. Lorson's going to have 3 receivers to his right. It'll be only Guthrie to the left. He's going to take the snap. It's a good snap. He's going to go straight back. The Red Tornadoes have so much pressure on him. Lorson's going to throw that, and the officials are going to point to a receiver that was vaguely in the area. That was a tough one. That was very close to intentional grounding.
Yeah, and if it was, it would have, you know, it wouldn't have changed much. You know, it would have been a loss of down, and it would have been a longer 4th down. Might have given Mount Carmel a better opportunity to return this punt here. But again, it still does bring up a 4th down for Jersey Shore. Great job by Mount Carmel getting after Lorson there.
Bulldogs punting again. It's Peacock. Nice punt. That's going to be Widener. Widener's going to field that one at the 10. He's going to try to get to the sideline, but a great play to stop him made by number 23, Dalton Dugan. And the Red Tornadoes will start their drive at about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good job, Widener, by handling that punt there. But again, as you said, great coverage by the Bulldogs, and Dugan with a very nice tackle.
And now they're going to take another hydration break here with 6:26 left in the second quarter. Again, the Red Tornadoes on top 20-0 as they visit the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. And it seems, speaking of hydration and nourishment and all kinds of good stuff, Dan, in Mount Carmel we've got Hollywood Pizza and Bakery, where you can get homemade foods prepared every day. You can head down to the Mount Carmel Farmers Market, and over 50 local vendors who are open every Saturday 8 to 2 at Route 51 and 64 near Atlas. And of course, Dan, Supper Club. So another season of Mount Carmel football means another season of Supper Club. Supper Club gives the community a chance to kind of interact with players, cheerleaders, and band members, as well as get some information from the coaching staff, which you do every week.
Yes.
So if that piques your interest, you want to head down to the back room at Matucci's Willow Street Cafe in Mount Carmel at 6:15 p.m. every Thursday, where you can get great food and great conversation. I know you enjoy it when you go down, Dan.
Yeah, I love going to Supper Club. As you said, I get a ton of information. Plus, I get a great meal every week. You know, I get to make my way to Matucci's, get an awesome meal.
And Matucci's is a staple all year round, not just during the football season.
Yeah, definitely. If you go to Mount Carmel, you need to make a stop at Matucci's.
So the teams are out of their break here. It'll be the Red Tornadoes out there. Looks like it's going to be the same shotgun double wing set out of the Red Tornadoes. The officials try to get everybody back on the same page. The one thing, actually, Mount Carmel looks like they're going to be a little heavy to the right side. They're going to have Chapman split out a little bit, with Hood almost serving as a guard in this sense, Dan.
Yeah.
Ayers is in motion. Reisinger is going to fake the pitch and get upfield. He makes a nice move putting his foot in the ground, but a great play there is made by 52 David Toom to stop him at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Reisinger had a big hole there to run through. As you said, they kind of went heavy right, faked the pitch out that way, which got a lot of the defenders moving that way. But Toom able to sneak out and catch an ankle of Reisinger there and able to trip him up for a short gain.
Give a lot of credit to the Mount Carmel sideline there. They saw it and made the right call. Just a great play by Toom. Red Tornadoes, same look. Ayers in motion again, and this time it's not going to be a pitch. Reisinger's going to roll out, and he's got 26 Troutman. Troutman makes a nice catch, but only for a gain of 2. He's going to be dropped by number 32, Brett Guthrie.
Yeah, again, you know, it looks like Mount Carmel kind of going to the passing game a little more often than we've seen in the last 3 weeks, and it is working for them. These games are just, you know, Jersey Shore's usually right there to make a quick tackle.
Same Red Tornadoes in the same look. Hard count out of Reisinger is going to get a little movement on the Jersey Shore sideline, so we'll see if they were drawn. Yeah, the officials walk it off. It's going to be encroachment on the Jersey Shore Bulldogs, so the only way they were drawn off sides, Dan, was by Reisinger's hard count.
Yeah.
So great job there. And on third and about the length of the football, Reisinger's going to come to the sideline. Ayers is going to go back in. And I think you know what this means.
Yeah, and this is what Mount Carmel wanted to do. You know, they went with the hard count, got the easy 5 yards, putting them back on schedule.
Yep.
Third and short.
Ayers is in the gun. He's got Cricky to his right. It's a low snap. Ayers picks it up, and he's going to be driven down. Forward progress is going to save him in this case. It looks like for the Bulldogs, number 45, Kyle Toom, is first on the scene. The Red Tornadoes will be now forced with a 4th and 5 from the 24-yard line.
And, you know, due to Ayers not being able to handle that little bit of a low snap there, is going to push them back and bring up a punt situation.
Yeah, so it's actually the 17-yard line where the Red Tornadoes are going to be punting from. The Bulldogs are going to bring Kobe Peacock up from his deep position to get an extra rusher. Ayers does a nice job fielding it and gets a nice punt out. It's a great punt. It's going to be fielded at about the 48. It's going to be dropped. Number 15, Owen Anderson's unable to handle it, but he does a great job of jumping back on top of the ball. So the Bulldogs are going to start their next drive from their own 48-yard line with 4:27 left here in the first half, trailing the Red Tornadoes 20-0.
Yeah, and you know, it looks like Jersey Shore definitely made some adjustments there after the first quarter. They've been doing a better job defensively, stopping Mount Carmel up. We'll see what Mount Carmel can do. to counter it when they get back on the offensive side of the ball. But Jersey Shore also on their last drive moved the ball a little bit more than they have up to this point. So we'll see if they continue to do what they were doing last drive.
4 wide for Jersey Shore. Orson's in the shotgun. Peacock comes in motion, and they're going to hand it to him. But it's going to be a halfback pass. He stops, and he throws it in the direction of nobody in particular. He was under a lot of pressure from 27 airs. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, and it was a well-designed play for the Bulldogs, but also a very well-defended play from Mount Carmel. It looked like the defensive backs were not fooled. They stayed with their guys. He didn't really have anywhere to throw the ball, which gave Ayers time to put some pressure on him and force a bad throw.
Same look for the Bulldogs. 4 wide. It's going to be a rocket screen this time to the opposite side. Peacock does a nice job in making one guy miss, and he had some space, but it's going to be tripped up by, looked like Widener, Dan. They're going to call him down at the Red Tornado 44-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and good job by Widener. It looked like Ayers was also in there. He came off the ground there in the same area where Peacock went down, but that was a very, very tough run by Peacock after the catch. He made one guy miss, and as you said, kind of got downfield for a tough run.
Orson heads over to the sideline for the play. They're going to bring Widener off the field, actually. So he's going to take a look at the trainer. We'll see how he's doing. Certainly keep an eye on Widener. He's going to be spelled by number 2, Jacob Reese, 5'11", 185-pound senior.
Now interested to see Reese first time in the game if they go after him.
The Bulldogs in 4 wide. They look like they're ready for it. And it's a hard out to number 30, but it's going to be picked off by number 1, Tanner Karicki. And again, that's that hard out. They're trying to get it to Malicki, and Warson just missed him, and Karicki was Johnny on the spot there, making a great catch.
And yeah, what a catch by Karicki. That was a great job. It looked like that ball was just going to kind of fall harmlessly to the ground there. But Karicki, all-out effort, laying out for that ball and keeping it off the ground, doing a great job of securing the catch, and right in front of the referee, too. It made sure that the ref knew that was a catch.
3:43 left in the first half. The Red Tornadoes are going to start another drive here, this time at their own 38-yard line. It's a similar look from the Red Tornadoes. Karicki's in the backfield with Reisinger. It's going to be a fake to Karicki, and the Red Tornadoes only have one guy deep, so Reisinger makes the decision. He's going to try to move up, and he takes a big hit from number 32, Britt Guthrie. Not too far in front of the line of scrimmage. It'll be Reisinger picking up about a yard.
Yeah, good job by Reisinger, just making something out of nothing there. Well defended in the defensive backfield for Jersey Shore. Reisinger able to pull it down, get out of the pocket, and pick up a short gain rather than, take a sack there. That's a great job.
It was only Chapman. It looked like he was the only one running a pattern for the Red Tornadoes, and there were a couple Bulldogs draped all over him. And if it's indicative of what the Red Tornadoes are going to try to do here, Hood comes out, Avery Demko goes in. So Red Tornadoes are a little more open. Chapman split out to the left, Demko out to the right. Reisinger's going to take the snap. He's going to roll out. He's under a lot of pressure, but a screen is set up to the left for Karicki. Karicki's got nobody around him. Karicki's at the 40, the 20, the 10, and what a play call from the Red Tornadoes. It's going to be a 56-yard pitch and catch with only about 5 of it going through the air. Karicki could have walked in after he hit about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and we continue to talk about the aggressiveness of this Jersey Shore defense. Due to their aggressiveness, this screen was a perfect play call. They had 2 guys outside double teaming 1 defensive back that was left after they sent all that pressure to the empty backfield. And as you said, Karicki, once he got past that one, it was off to the races.
The Red Tornadoes now up 26-0 with the PAT pending. Again, that's going to be Daukus is the long snapper for the Red Tornadoes. Tyler Owens, number 9, the holder, with 24, the freshman Julian Steller on to attempt his 4th PAT of the night. We got a good snap and a good hold. The kick is up, and that looks to be good. It'll be 27-0 Mount Carmel area with 2:44 left here in the first half. And Dan, we talk about just the play call itself is a great play call. The line does a great job of getting outside. The other backers do a great. The other running backs do a great job of making blocks downfield. Karicki reads the block, but you got to give a lot of credit to Reisinger because when you're running a screen against an aggressive team, you're going to take a shot.
Oh yeah, he definitely did a great job of kind of standing in there, staying tough with it, but take taking the hit, but still being able to deliver an accurate throw to Karicki. Great job. And we talk about them a lot. We don't usually get a chance to put their names out there. The offensive line from Mount Carmel: Colin Herb, Mike Mikowski, Brad Shurock, Connor Krakowski, Billy Anderson, Logan Wills. These guys, they are kind of the unsung heroes of this team. This offense wouldn't go if they didn't go. So we kind of overshadow them. The guys carrying the ball every once in a while, but they need to get their due.
Yeah, well, I think, Dan, as Chapman lines it up here to kick off, you mentioned it earlier, where the Mount Carmel running backs are so hard to cover and tackle in the open field. Well, the reason they're in the open field is because nobody touches them for 10 yards thanks to the offensive line.
Absolutely.
Yep. That's going to be fielded at about the 12 by 33. Sechrist. He's out across the 35. They'll call him, that's where they'll call him at the 36, actually, where it'll be 1st and 10
and
for the Bulldogs.
And it seems like Chapman is kind of making it tough on his kick coverage team here, because he's out kicking the coverage.
Right.
There were 20 yards between the guy receiving the ball and the first white jersey. He had plenty of time to kind of make a guy miss, which makes it tough.
The Bulldogs come out in a formation we saw them go early on. It's a receiver split to the right and left, an eye in the backfield. Orson's going to go straight back, and they've got man coverage against Karicki. It's incomplete. He overthrew Guthrie, but that was just a quick comeback, Dan. It almost looked like one of those back shoulder fades you see thrown where the connection is between the receiver and the quarterback. Yeah,
it was a well designed play. It looked like 32. You said that's Guthrie. It looked like he was open on the play, but as you said, Karicki in the area. Lorson not wanting to throw his 3rd pick of the night, kind of overthrew it there.
Same look out of the Bulldogs. It's going to be Peacock. He's coming in motion across the formation. Lorson's going to go run a draw, and the Red Tornadoes have it snuffed out. Now the effort of Toom is going to turn that into a gain of about 4, when it very easily could have been no gain.
Yeah, it was a very, very tough run by Toom there. It looked like Ayers had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage or possibly even in the backfield. He was able to kind of shake him off there, and as you said, pick up a gain of 4 there, which is going to put them in a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, for the Red Tornadoes, number 75, Billy Anderson's going to get a break here, replaced by 55, the senior Zach Artman. The Bulldogs in the same look is going to go straight back. Lorson and Mike Hood is going to just drag Lorson down for a sack. And the Red Tornadoes are going to take a quick timeout here with 1:51 left on the clock. Dan, they're looking to get the ball back.
Yeah, and I like it. I like the aggressiveness. Get the ball back. Get another, maybe punch another score in there before the half, and go in with a 5-touchdown lead. That would be nice. But got to talk about Mike Hood, the senior out there, playing his heart out. He comes out every night. He's another one of those guys, unsung hero. He's the tight end. He's a defensive end. These are the guys that they keep contained. These are the guys that get pressure on the quarterback, these DNs. And today, he's getting his due because he's getting to the quarterback, and Lorson had nowhere to go. He was there in an instant,
Yeah, and I think we'll probably see in the second half, is my guess, Dan, we'll see the Bulldogs stay wide open a little bit more. It seems like when they go tighter, they want that one-on-one coverage on the outside, but the Red Tornadoes are too much to handle up the middle. And we'll see here the Bulldogs looking just happy to punt this one away. 4th and 12 from their own 34. Peacock, it's a good snap. We got a nice punt. That one's in the direction of Burkowski. Burkowski's going to catch it over his shoulder, so he's reversing a lot of field. He's losing a lot of yards. Now he's going to put his foot in the ground and start to move up field. He's going to get across the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes at the 24. I think Burkowski ran about 80 yards to probably just start where he caught the ball, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, and it looks like there may have been a block in the back there.
Yeah, and that's a tough one for the kick team, because Burkowski's back there. He's trying to do what he can to make a play. It looked like the ball carried a little bit and got over his shoulder, so he reversed fields. And so as the defense is moving to try to defend it and cover it, it gets to be a little bit challenging for the kick return team.
Yeah, very, very challenging. And we talked about it before. When you get an open field there, everybody's running full speed down the field for the Bulldogs trying to get after Burkowski. It's hard. You know, you see the front of their jersey, and then you see the back of their jersey. You don't know which side you're hitting sometimes, and that's how those penalties normally happen.
So the Red Tornadoes are going to start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 14 with 1:35 left. Ayers is in motion across the formation. He's going to get a pitch. He's trying to get in that alley that we've seen him have so much success on. He'll be across the 20. See where they mark him down. Actually going to mark him down right at the 20. Pick up a 6, and at this point, I think for the Red Tornadoes, the important part there is he didn't pick up a first down, so that clock keeps ticking.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach Dara does here if he decides to go to the air.
Same formation for the Red Tornadoes, a shotgun wing. This time it's going to be a snap, and Ayers is almost going to take the snap. He does a great job to turn that into something. He had a few Bulldogs laying down in front of him. He picks up the first down very close to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes 28 when they set it.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations, Jim, where you think, you know, maybe Coach Dara, you know, gives Reisinger 2 plays. You know, you don't get the first down, the clock doesn't stop. Get back up to the line, run that second play. We'll see what they decide to do here.
Yep. Red Tornadoes checking their wrists. They got to get back up on the line here. Fewer than 50 seconds left in this first half now. That's been really good to Mount Carmel. It's a high snap. Reisinger does a nice job getting it down, and he hands it to Widener. Widener's on the far side of the field. He's not going to pick up too many yards. We'll see if he got out of bounds or not. Looks like he did. The clock will stop with 37.2 left. The Red Tornadoes are going to be facing a 2nd and 10 from their own 28.
Yeah, Widener does a good job of making one guy miss in the backfield there, using that stiff arm to kind of keep him off of him. Gets back, you know, to right about the line of scrimmage and gets out of bounds, as you said. That's the important part of that play there.
Shotgun wing for the Red Tornadoes. Reisinger's in the gun with Ayers to his left. He's got Widener and Daukus to the right, but they do have both tight ends, Hood and Chapman to the right. This time it's a snap, and it's Ayers, and Ayers has an alley. He's got a little bit of room. He makes one guy miss. He's fighting across the 45-yard line, so it'll be another first down, another clock stoppage. Red Tornadoes are going to change personnel here. Hood and Ayers will come out. Troutman, number 26, and Cricky go in. The Red Tornadoes trying to get moving here. They're about to set and clock the ball.
Yeah, and Ayers running really tough on that one there, very tough.
So 29.5 seconds left. The clock running now. Reisinger takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to hit Daukus, who makes a great one-handed catch and gets out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a very good catch by Daukus. I mean, if he doesn't make the catch there, the clock stops, but he makes the catch, gets us right around midfield, and gets out of bounds. Yep. Great play by Daukus.
Yeah, so it's a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Red Tornadoes at their own 49-yard line. But with 19.9 seconds left on the clock, we'll see what matters more, the down and the distance or the time, Dan. The Red Tornadoes in their shotgun wing, a very tight formation with 19.9 seconds left in the half. Cricky in motion. Reisinger stops. He throws it back across the middle. He throws it to Chapman, and Chapman does a great job of fighting through that to pick up another first down.
Yeah, and it's another first down, and I'm curious to see. Oh, yep, and Mount Carmel is going to use their second timeout of the first half here. You know, now across the 50-yard line with the possibility to score.
Yeah, it's getting a little interesting now here, Dan. The Red Tornadoes up 27-0 on the road at Jersey Shore. At least looking as if they're going to try to punch another one in here. But again, as you said, there's 12.9 seconds on the clock. When the Red Tornadoes break their timeout huddle, they'll be looking at 1st and 10 from the 41. And we kind of talk about this, and these are good problems to have for the Red Tornadoes right now. But again, this is an offense that's designed to pick up 4, 5, 6 yards at a clip. So be curious to see what Coach Dara draws up here.
I think Coach Dara is going to lean on his horses. You know, every back on this team has the ability to make a big play, as we've seen. Ayers break long runs, Widener break long runs, Karicki break long runs, Reisinger with the long ball to Chapman. A lot of options here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, the Red Tornadoes look to be in their tight shotgun double wing. Ayers, Karicki, check that, is in there with Reisinger still. Widener comes across the formation. They're going to fake it to him. Ayers is looking. He's got Widener open. My goodness, Widener almost pulls it in with one hand. He takes a big shot from number 46. That's going to be 46. Check that, not 46, 48. Anthony Schaefer. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Red Tornadoes with 6.8 left on the clock.
Yeah, and it looked like Widener did break out there and what was in open field. Reisinger kind of floated out there, tried to get it in front of him, was a little behind Widener, and he took a big hit on that, but got right back up. Let's see what they do now.
This is more of a traditional shotgun formation out of the Red Tornadoes. Reisinger's going to go straight back. He's under some pressure, and he's going to take a sack inside back inside their own territory, but that's going to do it for the first half. First half here at the Thompson Street Stadium in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, where the Red Tornadoes are on top 27-0 against the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. We're going to take a break here, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the Mount Carmel area Big Red Band. Hello and welcome back to the Thompson Street Stadium here in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, where the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes are on top of the Jersey Shore Bulldogs 27-0. It's been an extremely successful first half for the Red Tornadoes. Dan, what do the numbers look like?
Well, as you said, a very successful first half for Mount Carmel, both on the ground and through the air. We have, for the team, 22 carries for 194 yards. For Reisinger, 7 completions in 9 attempts for 107 yards. One of those ended up in a touchdown.
Sure.
With the very short one, which he did mostly with his legs. Also, Ayers, 10 carries for 154 yards by himself. So he's having a big first half to start off the game here. And then for Jersey Shore, 11 carries for 10 yards. They've got 3 first downs. And passing-wise, they are 5 of 16 for 42 yards. So Mount Carmel offense putting big numbers up. Mount Carmel defense doing a great job as well.
Yeah, and we talked about that at the outset. And what I had mentioned was I wanted to talk about the Red Tornado offense, right? And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit biased. The offense is fun to talk. They do a lot of things, but you were very high on the defense and what they were going to be able to accomplish tonight and what they had to do. And those numbers are beyond impressive.
I mean, holding this tough Jersey Shore offense to 11 carries for 10 yards, that's less than a yard a carry. I mean, that's impressive. That's very impressive. With Toom, who we spoke about in the pregame, Toom had 1,600 yards last year, 1,664 yards last year. And Mount Carmel, as I said, holding them to less than a yard a carry. He might have 4 or 5 carries for maybe 3-4 yards, and that's tough. He's a big, tough runner. He kind of reminds me of Gensimer from Central Columbia. Kind of really tough runner. Can put his head down and bowl through some guys. But Mount Carmel not phased. Defensively, these guys are so tough in the middle.
Yeah, and I think on the offensive side of the ball for Mount Carmel, what we've seen them do is kind of show off a little bit of everything. They have the plays where, whether it's Ayers or Kricky or Widener or even Reisinger, where they take a shot behind the line of scrimmage and fight back and pick up 3 or 4. And then we've seen them in the open field not only make guys miss, but outrun defenders. So it's been a really impressive offensive set for the Red Tornadoes. As we get ready to start here, it'll be number 1, Cameron Griffin, kicking off for the Bulldogs. They'll be kicking to Kricky and Widener. We're underway here. It's a nice kick. It's going to be Widener. He's going to take it right at the 10-yard line. Starts to move upfield. He's got a little bit of room in the wedge. He makes a nice move, makes one guy miss. He's going to be out across the 35. The Red Tornadoes will start their first drive of the second half at their own 39-yard line.
Very good return there by Widener. When I played Coach Carm DeFrancesco used to call it getting up in the briar patch. Because you're going to take some shots there as you're getting in the middle of that wedge. Widener does a good job holding the ball tight, getting through there, taking a couple hits, bouncing off of them, and turning it into good starting field position for the Red Tornadoes.
We'll see what the Red Tornadoes do with that starting field position. They'll come out in the shotgun. Double wing. Hood and Chapman are the tight ends. Ayers is to Reisinger's left, who's in the gun, and he's got Daukus and Widener in the wing. And it's Ayers, and Ayers has some room. Ayers makes a couple guys miss, and he's in a foot race now. It's Ayers. He's at the 20. He makes a guy miss. He's into the end zone, and the Red Tornadoes' first play of the second half is going to be a 61-yard touchdown run by John Ayers.
And as I just talked about, bringing us back in from halftime there, John Ayers with amazing numbers in the first half, comes out and continues to outdo himself. He's now going to be over. That's going to put him over 200 yards rushing for the game, and he just continues to show the toughness, breaking through there and the speed to pull away from guys.
The Red Tornadoes on to attempt the extra point. It'll be Stellar again. Owens the holder. And as we mentioned before, number 29, Damon Daukus, the fullback, who's also the long snapper. We got a good snap and a good hold. The kick is up, and that is good. And with 11:41 remaining in the third quarter, the Red Tornadoes are on top, 34-0.
And we don't talk about it a whole lot, Jim, but Julian Stellar Doing a lot better of a job this week, you know, putting that ball through the uprights on the extra points. I talked to Coach Bill Juraski, actually, at Supper Club last night, said he's been doing a lot of work with him. It's tough to get time with Julian because Julian does a little bit of everything, offensively, defensively, and on special teams. But he continues to improve, and I'm excited to see him kick for hopefully the next 4 years.
Yeah, Dan, we were looking at the field. We were down there a little bit before the game. It's not the best conditions on the field either. So for Stellar to be 4 for 5 here tonight, with a little messy down there, it's really, he did a nice job.
Yeah, doing a great job.
It'll be Chapman for the Tornadoes again. We'll set the ball at about the 40-yard line.
Again, you know, we talked about it on the last kickoff. Hopefully we can see Mount Carmel, you know, cover this kick, get down there a little bit quicker. Chapman with that big leg, you know, not always giving them a lot of time to get down the field.
Right. It's Malicki and Sechrist back deep for the Bulldogs. Be a nice kick. That's going to be Sechrist. He takes it at about the 15-yard line. He fumbles the football. There's a scramble going on. The ball's down around the 30-yard line. We'll see who came up with it. And that's going to be the Red Tornadoes. That's number 2, Jacob Reese. We talked about him earlier. Does a great job jumping on the fumble. And just like that, the Red Tornadoes are back in business.
And it looked like number 21, Reed Witkoski, down there on the initial impact that ultimately forced that ball out, knocked that ball loose. So great job on the coverage that time. And as you said, good wherewithal by Reese to hop on that ball.
So that's not a bad start to the half for the Red Tornadoes. You get a nice kickoff return. You score a touchdown. And then you force a fumble.
Yeah,
so that's 3 for 3 for the Red Tornadoes to start the second half. And they'll come out with shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff. This time Burkowski's coming across the formation, and he's going to be stood up and driven back. That's going to be the initial hit by 23, Dalton Dugan. We said his name a couple times tonight, having a nice night.
Yeah, definitely having a nice night. Good job by Burkowski. Burkowski has a whole lot of speed, but unfortunately on that play didn't have anywhere to go with it. They kind of strung him out to the sidelines, but well-designed play. They continue to run these plays, you know, across the formation and stuff like that. They keep having success with it. We'll see if the Burkowski can get some up the field yardage
the
here.
Red Tornadoes are coming out. They're going to split Chapman way out to the right, Demko to the left. Reisinger's in the gun. He's got Burkowski and Widener to the right. He's going to drop straight back, and he's moving up in the pocket. Keeps his eyes downfield, finds Chapman, who does a great job catching that ball close to the 20-yard line. He'll ultimately be tackled after a gain of about 13. And they're going to call him, they're going to mark it at the 21, so it'll be 3rd and 2 here. Nice pitch and catch there, Dan.
Very good job by Reisinger. We continue to see Reisinger, you know, the evolution of Reisinger at quarterback. He continues to improve weekly, you know, keeping his eyes downfield, escaping the pressure, and delivering an accurate throw to Chapman there.
Red Tornadoes are going to come out in the same formation. Ayers is in the wing to the left. So it's Burkowski and Daukus to the right. Reisinger goes back again. It looked like he was trying to hit Chapman on a comeback. Chapman falls down, and the ball falls incomplete. So it's 4th and 2 for the Red Tornadoes on the 21-yard line.
Yeah, and as we just recently talked about the field conditions, you see Chapman tries to stick his foot in the ground there, do a quick little hitch route for that to get to the first down marker, and now it's going to be at 4th down. Yep.
Ayers and Demko are going to come out. Cricky and number 4, Logan Wills, are going to go in there. Wills, we saw him do the jersey change on the sideline here, but yeah. In the wash there was a flag on the play as well. They looked like they were calling an illegal formation against the Red Tornadoes. So now the Bulldogs have a choice to make here. They're gonna make the Red Tornadoes replay this. So they'll take the 5-yard penalty. It'll go back to 3rd down. 3rd and we'll call it 5. And that 3rd and 6 from the 26. So that's an interesting call, Dan.
Yeah, that's one of those plays by Jersey Shore. They might know that Mount Carmel can get that 1 yard, so might as well push him back.
Shotgun wing for Mount Carmel. Cricky's to Reisinger's left, and he goes in motion. Reisinger rolls to the right, and he throws a rocket to Chapman, and Chapman makes a great catch. in between two defenders. My goodness. That's all the way down inside the 15. We'll see. It looks like they're going to mark it right at the 11 for another Red Tornado first down.
Yeah, and Chapman with the sure hands there. Reisinger throws that into traffic, threaded the needle. Great throw by Reisinger, and Chapman pulling that ball almost out of the hands of a Jersey Shore defender.
We've seen Chapman. He's got great hands. Were it not for his great hands all season, you'd wonder if he caught that out of self-defense.
Yeah.
Because that was a rocket. Mount Carmel out again. Reisinger in the gun. This time it's going to be a handoff to Cricky. Cricky's got some room on the sideline. He's going to get a block from Widener, but there's going to be too many Bulldogs over there. He'll be inside the 10. It looks like he'll pick up a little bit more than we thought on that, judging by where the lineman or the marker is moved. He picks up 5, so it'll be first and we'll pick up 6. Check that. First and 4, second and 4 from the 5.
Yeah, great job by Cricky. You know, putting his head down, kind of bowling forward to, as you said, picked up a few more yards than we initially thought. That's just running tough right there.
Daukus now out as well. He's going to be substituted for Troutman. Mount Carmel has 2 receivers split out right. Reisinger takes the snap and he's rolling that way. He throws it back across the middle. He throws it right into the hands of number 55. That's 55, Hunter O'Connor. He makes a nice play. He does take a big hit on the return, but that's a momentum shift, and it'll be first and 10 for the Bulldogs right around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, he definitely did take a big hit on that play there, but and it looked like that was number 55, Artman, that made the tackle there on the interception return. You know, but looks like Mount Carmel, you know, going out there, trying to work on stuff now, you know, with 5 touchdown lead, throwing the ball a lot more, you know, and good play by O'Connor, though, for the pick.
Bulldogs come out in their eye set with a receiver split out right and left. They're going to hand it to Toom up the middle. He's going to pick up a few yards. We'll see where they mark him. It's getting a little messy down there, Dan. It's getting harder and harder to see these yard markers.
Yeah.
They'll say he's across the 15. We'll put him at the 16. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, good run there by Toom. A tough run right up the middle there.
Same look for the Bulldogs. Orson goes straight back. It's a play action. Now he's going to roll to his right. He's under all kinds of pressure. And he's going to be hit in the backfield, and that's going to be number 88, Mike Hood again.
Hood with his hit. That is now his 3rd sack for the night. Doing a great job pressuring the quarterback. That time coming from his blind side. You know, again, untouched off the edge, coming from the quarterback's blind side. Put a big hit on Lorson.
We'll see where they marked it down. Lorson did what he could to get upfield as he was getting hit. It'll be 3rd and 8 from about the 12-yard line. Lorson's going to take the snap. He's going to go straight back, but there's going to be a flag on the play before anything really gets rolling. And Dan, while they're talking about this, I don't know how this happened, but they snapped the ball. You saw how quickly they blew it dead. And Hood was about 6 yards into the backfield already. So maybe the Bulldogs are lucky for motion here.
Yeah, definitely lucky on that one because as we've seen it all day. Hood continuously applying pressure on the quarterback. Lorson barely has a second to breathe back there or even catch the snap, and Hood's already on him.
So this is going to be 3rd and 14 from the 7 here for the Bulldogs. We'll see what they dial up. Orson's going to go straight back. It's a draw play, and Toom tries to get somewhere, but it's Mike Hood again after a pickup of 2.
And you see Hood there on that play. You know, we've seen Hood come off the edge. That play, he had a little bit of help with contain on the outside. I believe it was Troutman coming off the outside with him. So that gave Hood the ability to make a move on the tackle, get inside, and stop Toom for a very short gain.
Peacock back to punt again. Does his best. It's a nice punt given the situation. It's going to bounce in front of Widener, and he picks it up. He makes 2 moves to get up the field, gets a great stiff arm, and now he's got some blockers. He cuts back across the field. Danny's in the alley. He's all the way down, almost to where the ball was snapped. He's going to be at about the 12-yard line is where they're going to mark him down. A great return by Shane Widener.
And, you know, Jim, we talk about the vision of these backs and of Widener, and you and I could see that hole, that alley open up from where we were standing. We had a perfect vantage point for it. And as you said, Widener got right up in there and turned it into a big gain after making a few guys miss, you know, when he initially picked up the punt. Great return.
So let's come out. Reisinger in the gun. He's got Ayers to his right. Looks like Burkowski and Daukus to the left. Chapman and Wills now in at the tight end spot. That's going to be an inside handoff to Burkowski. Burkowski's got a lane, and Burkowski's in for another Red Tornado touchdown. And with 7:10 left in the third quarter, Mount Carmel is now on top, 40-0 here in Jersey Shore.
And, you know, back down there in the red zone, it looked like Mount Carmel said, you know what, we had our fun trying out to continue to throw the ball in the red zone. We know what we do well. We know how to put the ball in the end zone when we get in the red zone. They run that, you know, that inside Sally play that we see go to Widener so often to Burkowski. Results the same. Gets him in the end zone.
Stellar on to attempt his 7th PAT of the night. There's a good snap and a hold. The kick is up, and he drills it. So as Julian Stellar now makes his 6th PAT in 7 attempts tonight, the Red Tornadoes go on top 41-0.
Yeah, and Mount Carmel, you know, really asserting their dominance in this game today. They want to be, you know, considered a dominant team in the Heartland Conference, in the state, you know, and coming out here against a bigger school, you know, a 4A school, and dominating as they are today. That's going to, you know, open some eyes to some people, especially the people who are making the power rankings.
Yeah, we talked about it early on, Dan. I think there were a lot of things that could have potentially been working against Mount Carmel tonight. That's a tough ride. I mean, you leave earlier than you usually do.
Yep.
It kind of throws off. And we talked about how methodical this team is, and that's always a good thing. But a game like today throws off your usual routine. You have homecoming next week at home against North Schuylkill. So there were kind of a lot of factors that weren't on the field that could have impacted this game. And, you know, give a lot of credit to the coaching staff and the players for ensuring that that's where all their focus is. It's what happens between the lines.
Yep.
Chapman kicks off again. This one's going to bounce a little short before Sechrist picks it up. And there's not a whole lot for him to do before he's dragged down by number 21. We mentioned 21 before. That's Reed Wikoski yet again. So Reed's out there doing a lot of work on this kickoff team.
Yeah, Reed I'm going to continue to talk about it. I do it at least once every week. Reed, another guy that I was able to have the opportunity to coach for the Coltmont Cougars. Great to see him out there getting some time on special teams and making an impact on the game.
Again, 41-0 here in favor of the Red Tornadoes. The Bulldogs come out. Lawson under center. He's got a full house backfield behind him. And he's going to hand this one to number, we'll see exactly, it looks like 30, Malicki. But Malicki's not going to get anywhere. He'll be pick up of a yard if he's lucky. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 27.
Yeah, it looked like Ayers in there in the tackle, and as we talk about Ayers on the tackle there, seeing some substitutions in there. We see number 9 Tyler Owens at corner, number 2 Reese back at safety, 24 and 21 in there at linebacker spots. Julian Stellar and Wikoski. Yep.
And the Bulldogs are going to turn. This is going to be a quick snap to the up back. A quick hitter will be across the 30-yard line. The up back in that case is going to be number 33, Sechrist.
Yeah, that was a good job. Again, Reed Wikoski in there on the tackle. Very, very good job. And even you know, once you sub out some of these linebackers, get some of the younger guys in there, Mount Carmel is still tough in the middle.
Right.
You know, everybody up and down the depth chart, these guys are tough.
And Hood's going to come out. And that man's had a season tonight. A quick hitter from Lawson to Peacock, and a great play by Tyler Owens, number 9. Again, Dan, that's a quick slant, and Owens is on the spot and rips the ball out of Peacock's hands.
And that's one of those plays as a defender that you kind of just have to hope that you get there at the same time the ball does, because you kind of have to sell out or you're going to allow that ball to be completed. So Owens puts the hit as the ball is delivered and knocks it away. Great job.
Kobe Peacock takes the low snap and does what he can. Gets a nice punt out. It's going to take a bounce. It's not really going to be a bounce that favors Jersey Shore, so they'll jump on it. That'll be number 43, Carter Peacock. So we talked about a lot of Toombs and Peacocks out there.
Yeah.
So the Red Tornadoes will start a drive on their own 38-yard line. We'll see if they start making some changes. And it looks like they will. I see numbers for Mount Carmel. We'll try to call some of them out. Number 76, Jared Stewart's out there. 29, Daukus is still out there. But Tyler Owens, 16, Chase Fishburne. So Mount Carmel's definitely starting the parade of guys in and out here. But what won't change is the formation. Shotgun, wing, Burkowski and Daukus on the right. Reisinger has Owens to his left, and he's going to hand it to Owens. And Owens has some space. Owens is in an open field. He's across the 45. He keeps fighting. He's across midfield. My goodness, what a tough run by number 9, Tyler Owens, all the way down to the Bulldogs' 47-yard line.
And, you know, that was such a tough run by Tyler Owens. And he's not a big guy. 5'10", 160-pound sophomore. He's really not a big guy. But a very, very tough run there, carrying Bulldog defenders.
Great run there. Now Reisinger will be out, and it's going to be the aforementioned Stellar in there at the quarterback position. So he'll take the snap, and this time he'll fake the toss to Owens, and he'll get upfield, and he's going to put his head down too. He's a quarterback. He doesn't run like one. He's going to be across the 40-yard line. Be very close to a Red Tornado first down. They're going to mark him about a yard short, so we pick up at 9.
Yeah, and as you said, the personnel may change, but these plays do not. And it seems like you could have anybody in there, and they're going to work because these guys are practiced to perfection. You know, Coach Dara drills these guys every week, and from top to bottom, they run these plays well.
So it's the same look for the Red Tornadoes. Dylan Pupo, we see him in there as well, number 32. Owens is in motion. He's going to take the sweep, and that sweep, and Owens has the sideline. He's got one guy to beat. It looks like he's going to beat him to the corner, and it's going to be touchdown. Number 9, Tyler Owens. And Mount Carmel continues to pour it on here. It'll be 47-0 with 2:49 left in the third quarter, and the PAT from Stellar pending.
And Tyler Owens, we saw two different dimensions from him. On his 2 carries that he had on this drive. One carry, he gets hit 7 yards, at downfield, and carries 3 defenders for another 6. And then on this play, you see him outrun somebody to the corner. So very talented, and this team has talent from senior down to freshman.
Yeah, and the pitch there was a little bit out in front of him, but I think given how well it worked out, if he asks Stellar, he'll say he did that on purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
And, again, Stellar's going to kick off an Owens hold, and that one's going to be a little bit left, so that'll be no good. It'll remain 47-0 here at the Thompson Street Stadium in Jersey Shore, where the Red Tornadoes continue to just have their way with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Mount Carmel, as you said, continuing to pour it on. I mean, they just completely dominating Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore doing a great job. They haven't been able to move the ball, and they really have been having a hard time stopping Mount Carmel defensively.
And if we're going to stop anywhere, you might want to stop at Academy Sports Center in Mount Carmel, where you can get customized printing and embroidery on anything, Dan, including uniforms for businesses, sports teams, and organizations. Speaking of organizations, we have the Mount Carmel Area Education Foundation. It's a great organization. It exists to provide a means for alumni, parents, and friends to unite in their efforts to support and strengthen the Mount Carmel Area School District through gifts, trusts, and bequests. The goal of the foundation is to help maintain a meaningful and effective learning culture within the school by providing opportunities in academics, arts, and of course athletics. If you do choose to donate, you may designate your gifts for use in a specific area such as educational initiatives and supplies, band, library, tennis courts, athletics, and the television studio, WKMC TV. You can even do it for a specific sport, baseball, football, as we see Chapman get a kick down there, and that's Malicki. Malicki's going to have a little bit of trouble fielding it, and now the Red Tornadoes have converged on him, and Malicki's going to go down at the 17-yard line by 21 again. Reed Witkowski. But again, if you want to donate to the Education Foundation, you can do so by going to www.mcef.org www.mca.k12.pa.us.
Yeah, Wikoski definitely making his presence known when he's getting the opportunity to get out there on the field. He's making his presence known and making an impact on the field. That was a great play there and putting, Jersey Shore in a long field.
I see for the Red Tornadoes now, I see number 6, Austin Garankowski. I see number 3, Tom Davitt. 32, Pupo, still out there. So the Red Tornadoes doing a lot, making a lot of changes. And Worson's going to go back, and he's going to give it to Toom. And different faces for the Red Tornadoes, but it's the same result. They're going to hit him in the backfield, and, Dan, that's Wikoski.
Yeah, Wikoski and Stellar in there. These guys are very, very tough. And as you said, Stellar, the quarterback on the offensive side of the ball, playing at linebacker here on the defensive side of the ball, kicking the extra points. He's doing it all. And Wikoski seems to be around the ball every play.
Larson takes a snap, and this time he's going to go straight back, and it's another quick hitter. It's a comeback route to the receiver. That's number 81, Stetson, that we've talked about before. Westland. That'll be on the outside. It'll be a completion. They'll pick up a first down. It's going to be Pupo on the coverage out there. We'll see exactly where they mark the ball. Be about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Pupo did a good job in coverage there. Just a really, really hard run route. Stuck his foot in the ground, made the comeback, kind of got Pupo a little separation on Pupo there.
So Larson straight back. He's going to roll out a little bit, and he's got Weston again. He's going to run into 2 Red Tornadoes. Again, that's number 6, Austin Garankowski, and number 9, Tyler Owens, that are going to upend him right at the 40-yard line. There'll be another first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and it looked like number 3, Thomas Davitt, also in pursuit there. It looked like he was coming from the linebacker spot, tried to get that back out, wasn't able to get there in time.
Larson comes out. He's got Westland to his right, Guthrie to his left. He's going straight back, but it's a draw. He's going to hand it to Toom, but Toom is going to be hit first and foremost by number 60, Chris Eman. And, Dan, we saw him be a part of the band at halftime, and that was we were pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time. A lot of these guys are multi-talented. They play multiple sports. They do multiple things. Eamon, in the band at halftime, takes his shoulder pads off, plays in the band, gets his shoulder pads back on, and back in the game when the second half starts.
On 2nd and 4, Larson hands it to Toom again. Toom fights across the 50. He'll pick up a first down, but that looks like that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. So we're here at Thompson Street Stadium in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, where the visiting Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes are on top 47-0. As the Red Tornadoes come to the sideline here, they get a much-deserved round of applause from the faithful who made about this 90-minute trek up here with traffic. They do a great job of traveling. Again, speaking of traveling and just being out and about, if you are out and about, especially around Route 487 in Paxinas, you want to check out K&S Music. You can get everything there for the beginner or professional musician. We would absolutely like to thank their experienced staff who provide quality instruments and instruction.
And Jim, as we see these younger guys getting their opportunity in here in the game, I just want to talk about how important this is for these guys that are now getting their opportunity in there. As a sophomore, I was one of those guys. I played only special teams. But when we were up big on a team and I got a chance to be in there at linebacker and be in there on offensive fullback, it was a great experience, and it really got you the feel of how fast the game is played.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Larson's going to throw a fade to Westland again, and that's incomplete. Good coverage down there by number 32, Dylan Pupo.
Yeah, Pupo did a really good job there. It looked like he wasn't completely aware that the ball was getting there, but as Westland went up for it, Pupo able to get a hand in there and knock that ball loose.
Look for the Red Tornadoes. It looks like 58 Noah Fry out there as well. It'll be another set here from the Bulldogs. This will be another handoff to Toom, and Toom's on the sideline, and he's going to be upended by Owens over there. Owens is also having himself a night here, Dan.
Yeah, Tyler Owens doing a really good job. He as we said, he's quick, he's strong, he's all over the field. He's really got a good nose for the ball.
You see again this one fairly in hand for the Red Tornadoes, but the Bulldogs are still, looks like they still have most of their ones out there. It'll be Lorson again. He's going to roll out this time. He's got a little bit of room. Now he's going to try to go upfield, and my goodness, he's going to be dragged down by number 3, Tom DeVitt, who makes a great play in space.
Yeah, it looked like David, was initially, took his read step as a linebacker, saw the rollout and the guys in pass patterns, went to go in coverage, but saw as soon as he saw Lorson tuck that ball away, he changed fields and made a big tackle there on third down to set up this 4th down for Jersey Shore.
Yeah, it'll be 4th and 3 from the Red Tornado 43-yard line, and it'll be the I formation. They're going to hand it to Toom, and Toom's not going to get to that 1st down. My goodness. The Red Tornadoes do a great job of snuffing that play out and stopping Toom short of the line to gain and taking over on downs.
And it looked like the big man, number 76 in there on the tackle, Jared Stewart. And it's hard to miss him when he's out on the field. And, he's a very, very large individual at, let's see here.
6'7", I think I want to say he's
wow,
listed at.
6'7", 230. So definitely can't miss him when he's out on the field, and did a great job there of kind of dragging Toom down and forcing that turnover.
Yep, you see the Red Tornadoes are going to send number 70, Bradley Belts, in there, a freshman. Again, like you were talking about, Dan, doing a great job of getting themselves an opportunity here to play. It's going to be a timeout for the Bulldogs, so we'll see. Looks like there's some different numbers in there for them as well. So the Red Tornadoes not the only ones making changes at this point.
Yeah, we'll try and catch up with them as we can, But again, Mount Carmel doing a very good job here. Even like I said, up and down the depth chart, no matter who's on the field, they're doing what they have to do tonight. They're executing well, and they're doing everything that they need to do. This team looks very, very good today.
Yeah, this is what, and as again that's going on in the field. What's going on in the stands is one of my favorite parts of some of these high school games, where the Mount Carmel band and the Jersey Shore band are kind of playing each other's songs back and forth and just showcasing, how much talent and skill tonight isn't just on the field, but it's also, all these kids that do a lot of things.
Yep.
They're going to give it to Pupo, and Pupo's up the middle. Pupo's the one in the foot race. He's across the 30. He's at the 20. He's at the 10, and Pupo's going to be in for a Red Tornado touchdown. But there is a flag around the 30-yard line.
And that's, that's the area there that you see that normally is possibly a block in the back. We'll have to see how it comes out. But that, either way, that was behind the play. Very, very good run by Dylan Pupo there.
So the referees are waving everybody back. It's going to be a block in the back against the Red Tornadoes. Still more than enough yards to pick up a 1st down. You're going to see number 7, Austin Odorizzi, gets himself in there as well for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, again, as we said, it did turn out to be a block in the back. They did mark off 10 yards there. But again, another good run by Pupo. He's not going to get credit for the touchdown there, but he is going to get credit for picking up the 1st down, and a very good run.
Yeah, we'll see number 45 in there now for the Red Tornadoes as well. That's going to be Michael Reed, and he'll be in motion behind Stellar. Stellar will fake the pitch and try to get upfield. There's a lot of bodies in there that are going to stop him. They're going to cross the 40. Looks like they'll call it the 38-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Red Tornadoes from there. Again, with 9:09 left here in the game, the Red Tornadoes on top 47-0.
And, we will see that clock continue to run here as the mercy rule is in effect. So this 4th quarter may be a lot quicker than the other 3 quarters.
Reed in motion behind Stellar. Stellar's going to hand it inside to Pupo, give him another chance here, and he's going to do a nice job getting through the initial wave of defenders out across the 35 to the 34, where it'll be 3rd and 4.
And, we talk about it with Ayers and Widener and Karicki and Daukus and Burkowski. They do a good job of staying on schedule. Again, coming up a 3rd and short here for Mount Carmel. These guys staying on schedule as well.
Stellar, it's a high snap. Sneller's got to dive on it. He picks it up, actually, on a bounce and tries to move upfield. but he's not able to. He's hit way back by number 23, Dalton Dugan, and that's going to be, it's going to bring up 4th and about 20 for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, as you said, we continue to say Dalton Dugan's name as well. He's doing a very good job out there, making his presence known. You know, on the defensive side of the ball. I think we've called him for 4 or 5 tackles already.
Yep, so for the Red Tornadoes, Ayers will be back out there to punt, and back deep for the Bulldogs will be number 7, Cameron Allison, and 15, Owen Anderson. It's a good snap, but there is some movement. We'll see where it came from. If it was against the Red Tornadoes or the Bulldogs.
Yeah, let's see if Jersey Shore was drawn off.
Looks like that's going to be against the Red Tornadoes, given the way they're moving here. It'll be 5-yard false start penalty. Make it a 4th and 25 here. And Dan, this is about the only thing that hasn't gone well for the Tornadoes tonight.
Yeah, but you know, if we want to see the glass half full here, it's giving Ayers a little bit more room to punt this one down there.
Get a little movement again, but not enough. So Ayers will do a nice job, a nice spiral. And there's a little confusion there between the Bulldogs as to who's going to catch that. It bounces around the 20. It's going to roll all the way back to the 9-yard line. And that's where the Bulldogs will start with 7:16 left here in the 4th quarter. Speaking of starting things, Dan, Mount Carmel is trying to start a new tradition. They've begun a Red Tornado Legacy brick project at the Silver Bowl. The project's going to include a brick 6-foot by 6-foot water jet image of the famed Red Tornado logo in the center. That logo is going to be surrounded by 4-inch by 8-inch and 12 by 12-inch bricks, with all proceeds going to the general upkeep of the Silver Bowl Stadium. The location for the project is in the south end zone, so if you've been at the Silver Bowl, you've already seen it. Again, that's where our beloved creature bleachers used to stand. For more information about that and how the project's goal is to create a new location for fans to gather, as we see Lorson hands it to Toom again for a gain of about a yard. If you want more information on the Legacy Project, feel free to call the junior senior high school principal's office, the athletic office, the district office at 570-339-1500, or Jose Gonzalo at rxmanjag@gmail.com. You can also print order forms from the Mount Carmel Area School District website, which, as we gave it to you before, is www.mca.k12.pa.us.
It actually,
Lorson completes the pass to number 23, Dugan again, on a quick out. That'll get him across the 15. We'll call it where it'll be 3rd and 7. Not across the 15, apologies again. It'll be about the 12. As we said before, it's getting a little difficult to see, but what I can see, Dan, are fireworks across the way.
Yeah, it's a nice night to let off some fireworks, I guess.
So another ball, deep ball, a 50-50 ball. Lorson, that time he's looking for number 11, Caden Hess, a 6'2", 176-pound freshman who was locked up in tight coverage with Pupo again. It falls incomplete. Yeah,
Pupo again in very good coverage there. Does a good job of getting his hand on the ball and knocking it away. It looked like we did also see some substitutions in the backfield there. It looked like Cameron Allison, number 7, was in there to spell Toom for that drive.
Peacock back to punt again. The Red Tornadoes have, it looks like, Pupo and Owens back. Pupo's going to go up and catch that, and he's going to almost lose it. He does a good job hanging on to it, and the Red Tornadoes will start their next drive here at the Bulldogs' 36-yard line. And, you know, we were talking about Dugan there a lot, getting around the ball. It seems like every time their Jersey Shore lines up in the punt formation, Carter Peacock, number 43, gets himself somewhere near the ball as well. So again, the Red Tornadoes here on top, 47-0. Not necessarily in need of any insurance points at this point, have more than enough. But we do want to mention Verano Insurance. It's providing all types of insurance for home, business, and individuals for major insurers. Stellar hands off to Pupo. Pupo does a great job of getting outside. He gets locked up with number 12, Zachary Klein, who ultimately drags him down after a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, good job by Pupo there to kind of keep Klein away from getting inside him and picking up a few extra yards. But got to give credit to Klein as well for hanging on to that, taking a hard stiff arm from Pupo.
Red Tornadoes come out and shotgun double wing. Mike Reed's in motion, and Steller's going to roll out, and he's going to make a pass. Are you looking for Witkowski? Just overthrew him a little bit. He had a couple guys in the area, but it just falls incomplete.
Yeah, Witkowski coming out, it looked like he was coming out of the backfield. Either it looked like he was coming from that fullback spot that's semi in the wing, but they kind of line up behind the tackle there. They were open out in the flat there. Unfortunately, Steller, feeling a little bit of pressure, wasn't able to get a completely accurate throw out.
Steller looking to the sideline. He takes the play. You see everybody check their wristband, Dan. Everybody's got the wristband, right?
Yep.
Used to be just the quarterbacks had the wristband.
Yep, now everybody's got it.
Same look for the Red Tornadoes. Reed's in motion across the formation. Steller takes the snap and gets it to Reed, and Reed's got some room on the sideline. He makes a nice cut up field. He puts his head down, bowls over a defender. He's going to be across the 15-yard line. We'll see exactly where they mark him. It's on the far sideline there.
And that was a tough run there by Michael Reed.
Call it the 16, or the 14, excuse me, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes, again on top 47-0 with 3:15 remaining.
And if Mount Carmel continues to run the ball like that, it looks like they may have the opportunity to put another one on the board before the end of this one.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, Dan, that I'm a little bit blown away by where Mount Carmel keeps pulling these running backs from that have this amazing vision.
Yeah, they're able to find the cutback lane, but I believe.
And again, it's a pitch to Reed, who makes a great job putting his foot in the ground and cuts back up field to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And as I was saying, I believe Coach Dara does. I think that's how these plays are designed. I mean, all these guys do have great vision, but you always see, especially on those sweep plays that they've been running, that kick-out block that opens up that cutback lane, and seems like every running back is able to see it and get into that lane.
Same look for the Red Tornadoes. It's Reed to the right, and it's going to be, looks like Odorizzi and Pupo to the left. This time Steller's going to keep it himself. He tries to get upfield, but he's going to be dragged down. A nice play by number 61, Gage Wilson, for the Bulldogs.
Again, as we continue to talk about it, Mount Carmel, the numbers out there may change, but the plays are the same. We're going to sweep, 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 and then keep with Steller up the middle. And most of the time it is a pretty successful play for them.
It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Red Tornadoes from the 11. And Dan, those fireworks, it's gotten awful foggy, kind of smoky around here.
Yeah, definitely, and you can almost smell the fireworks in the air, you know. They don't look that close, but apparently they are.
Again, a lot of fireworks in the air. There are a lot of fireworks on the field for the Red Tornadoes, so there seems to be a theme here. There's a little confusion there between Steller and Reed. Steller does get it to Reed ultimately, who does what he can. He's going to lose about 2, so it's going to be 4th and 9 for the Red Tornadoes as the clock ticks down to 1:10 remaining.
Yeah, tough play there, as you said. A little bit of confusion. Luckily for Reed, having the being prepared for that little handoff there from Steller.
Yep. So we'll see what the Red Tornadoes opt to do here, as the clock is now officially under 1 minute remaining. It's 45. Reed in the motion, and ball's gonna be put on the turf, and it's gonna be picked up by 61 Gage Wilson, and Gage Wilson is going to ensure the Bulldogs do not go home with a 0 on that scoreboard. And with 35 seconds left, Gage Wilson is going to return a fumble. What will ultimately be about 87 yards for a touchdown, and it's 47-6.
Yeah, wow. Mount Carmel just about made it to the end there. I'm sure that they were looking for that shutout. Fortunately, Reed not able to handle the pitch there. Kind of looked like it got on him a little bit quick, but all the credit to Wilson there. Instead of diving on that ball, seeing the open field in front of him, picking it up, and outrunning everybody. Number 61, you usually see a guy with number 61. You don't think he's going to outrun anybody, but he was able to outrun the entire Mount Carmel offense.
That was kind of what surprised me as Cameron Griffin comes on for the extra point. Peacock the holder. Griffin, it's going to be a low-line drive kick, but it is good. So it's going to be 47-7 here with 35 seconds left in the game. Dan, what surprised me about that was Wilson had a few people around him when he grabbed that ball.
Yeah.
And so there was a part of me that thought, okay, this will just be kind of another footnote to this game, that the Red Tornadoes don't get to take a knee. They don't run out the clock. We'll bring Lorson back out. He'll throw a couple deep balls, see if they can figure something out. But Wilson said, don't worry about it, guys. I'll take care of this.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, that was we call that a scoop and score, but you don't usually see a defensive lineman with a long scoop and score like that. You know, it was a very, very good job though.
And the folks that'll wake up tomorrow and read the paper, they're going to see a final of 47-7, and they may not realize that it was 47-0 for 47 and 47 minutes and 25 seconds of this one.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a nice job by the Bulldogs of really not giving up, continuing to go out there and play. And again, they get to go home, and at least they have something to show for it tonight.
Yeah, and that's always something to kind of stick that in your cap. You get one score across the board, and it looks like they are setting up for an onside kick here.
Yeah,
they're going to try and put the offense back on the field.
How often do you get a chance to kick an onside? All right, so it's a good effort. It's a good attempt. Nice chance for number 1 Cameron Griffin.
I like it.
So Red Tornadoes move everybody up. They've only got Owens deep. Nice job, and it's going to be fielded terrifically by number 24. It's going to be Stellar, of course.
And Stellar not only can throw the ball and carry the ball, but it looks like he can catch it too. He's a quarterback out there, but does a good job of handling that onside kick. And it's good. Mount Carmel's going to take over here with 34 seconds left. I'm curious to see if they're just going to kneel on the ball or if they're going to, continue to let these younger guys get some carries.
Oh, and you can't always tell what they're going to do at this stage of the game. It's the same formation they always go from, and they are going to run it. It's going to be Reed in motion, but Stellar fakes the pitch, and Stellar's fighting. He's across the 45. He's down. He doesn't get out of bounds, so that should do it here. We'll let the clock run out on the game officially as Stellar is dragged down at about the 41-yard line. But as the clock hits 0 here, the Red Tornadoes are going to go home happy. They're going to be 47-7 victors against Jersey Shore in this Heartland cross-divisional matchup. Big win for Mount Carmel. You drive all the way up here. You want to have a nice, easy ride home, and a 47-7 win makes it pretty easy. Yeah,
and we talked about it pregame, Jim. Mount Carmel really, I'm sure, coming into this game, Coach Dara talks to us about it pregame. You want to go into every week and come out 1-0. So obviously focusing on Jersey Shore, but it's difficult as a player to not look ahead a week to North Schuylkill. And depending on the outcome of North Schuylkill's game this week, we may be going into homecoming next week against North Schuylkill as North Schuylkill being undefeated.
Yeah, if you're watching us on Wednesday, you already know the outcome of that one and how it's going to be. It'll be either an undefeated or one-loss North Schuylkill team against a Mount Carmel team that's now 3-1 with really a quality win at home against Central. And then regardless of what the rest of the season has for Jersey Shore, the fact that they come up here and win in such a convincing fashion is huge. We'll wait. You'll see in the paper tomorrow exactly what Mount Carmel's stats look like. Again, Dan, as you called out, Ayers had the big night. He'll have easily over 200 yards rushing. He passes Josin Kovic to become the 4th leading rusher all-time in Mount Carmel area. He's done it with a workman-like mentality, and that's really how this entire team goes about their business.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, as we said, all these guys are very, very capable. Very capable running backs, and they work hard and they work together. As we said, you see Ayers busting a big run, making history somewhat tonight, and then out there the next play, laying out a nice block for his counterpart Widener. So very, very much of a team mentality with these guys, and that's what I love to see from these guys. They're good team players. They play with a lot of heart. You know, they want to go out there and they want, you know, to get to that ultimate goal, which is to be 1-0 at the end of every week. You know, get into the district playoffs, win a district championship, and eventually get to that state championship. You know, that's obviously the goal. But, you know, coming out and ending 1-0 every week, that's a team effort.
Yeah, and so we'll talk with Jose after the game. We'll catch him later in the week. We'll see. Ayers, as he mentioned before, Ayers is also climbing up the all-time points board around the Red Tornadoes. So he had a few touchdowns tonight. Certainly doesn't hurt the cause. But otherwise, the Red Tornadoes come out, again, victorious on the road. We have a lot of people to thank here. Of course, thank you to Mr. McPhee, Gary, Mr. Trefsker, everybody in the truck, everybody that helps every week, Service Electric for keeping us on. And, of course, thank you to Jersey Shore for having us. We're going to get out of here. Again, the Red Tornadoes a 47-0 victory. I'm Jim Lesko. Alongside me is my friend and brother Dan. And we will be at home next week for homecoming. And we hope you join us. Thanks a lot. Have a great night.